My ex-wife and her boyfriend laughed during our divorce, until the judge's final decision wiped the smiles off their faces. I married Jessica when we were both 26. We had a good life for 8 years. Nice house in the suburbs, 2 cars, a golden retriever named Buddy. I worked as an accountant and she was a real estate agent. Everything seemed fine until I noticed she was working late almost every night. Coming home at 10 or 11 smelling like cologne that definitely wasn't mine. I'm not stupid, I knew something was up. One night I checked the phone bill and saw hundreds of texts to the same number. A guy named Brad. Turns out Brad was the personal trainer at her gym and they'd been seeing each other for almost a year. When I confronted Jessica, she didn't even try to hide it. She just laughed and said she was done pretending to be happy with a boring accountant. Said Brad was more exciting, made her feel alive again. 2 weeks later she moved out and moved in with Brad. Filed for divorce immediately. Now here's where it gets interesting. Jessica wanted half of everything. The house, my retirement accounts, even my car. Her lawyer was this aggressive guy in an expensive suit who treated me like I was wasting everyone's time. During our court hearings, Jessica and Brad would sit in the back row holding hands and whispering to each other. When my lawyer would present my side, I could literally hear them laughing, not even trying to hide it. Brad thought the whole thing was hilarious. He'd smirk every time Jessica's lawyer would demand more money. Jessica would lean over and kiss him right there in the courtroom like they were at the movies. The judge had to tell them twice to stop being disruptive. My lawyer kept telling me to stay calm and trust the process, but honestly, it looked bad for me. Jessica's lawyer painted me as this controlling husband who never let her have any fun, said I refused to go out, didn't support her career, made her feel trapped. All lies, but he was convincing. I watched the judge taking notes and couldn't tell what she was thinking. My lawyer asked for a 2-week continuance before the final hearing, said we needed more time to gather evidence. I had no idea what evidence he was talking about, but I trusted him. Those 2 weeks felt like forever. Jessica was already posting pictures with Brad on social media, talking about their new life together, acting like the divorce was already finalized and she'd gotten everything she wanted. The day of the final hearing came. Jessica walked in wearing this tight red dress, hanging all over Brad. They sat down in their usual spot, already giggling about something. My lawyer showed up with 2 boxes of documents. I still didn't know what his plan was. The judge asked if we were ready to proceed. Jessica's lawyer stood up all confident and started his closing argument. Talked about how Jessica deserved half of everything because she contributed equally to the marriage. How she needed money to start her new life. He was really laying it on thick. Then my lawyer stood up and dropped the bomb. He pulled out bank statements showing Jessica had been secretly transferring money from our joint account into a private account for 2 years. Almost $40,000 that I never knew about. Money she was hiding to prepare for the divorce. But that wasn't even the best part. My lawyer then presented text messages between Jessica and Brad from 6 months before she moved out. Messages where they were planning the whole thing, discussing how much money Jessica could get from me in the divorce. Brad was literally coaching her on what to say to make me look bad. They had this whole strategy mapped out. The judge's expression changed completely. She stopped taking notes and just stared at Jessica. My lawyer kept going. He showed evidence that Jessica had been lying about her income on the divorce paperwork. She'd been hiding commission checks from house sales to make it look like she earned less than she actually did. Then came the final piece. My lawyer presented proof that Brad had moved into my house with Jessica 2 months before she filed for divorce, while we were still legally married. They'd been living together in my own house while I was traveling for work. The courtroom went completely silent. Jessica and Brad stopped laughing. Her face went pale, and Brad was staring at the floor. Jessica's lawyer looked like he wanted to disappear. He clearly had no idea his client had been lying to him too. The judge asked Jessica directly if all of this was true. Jessica tried to stammer out some excuse, but the judge cut her off, said she'd seen enough. The judge ruled that because of Jessica's fraud and deception, she was entitled to nothing. Zero. Not the house, not my retirement, not my car. She got to keep whatever was in her secret bank account, and that was it. The judge also ordered Jessica to pay my legal fees. All $15,000 of it. I watched Jessica's face crumble. Brad got up and walked out without even looking at her. Just left her sitting there alone. Turns out Brad wasn't so interested when there wasn't a big payout involved. Jessica's lawyer packed up his stuff and left her too. Outside the courtroom, Jessica tried to talk to me, said she was sorry and made a mistake. I just walked past her to my car. 6 months later, I heard through mutual friends that Brad dumped Jessica and she had to move back in with her parents. The house is still mine, Buddy's still mine, my retirement account is still intact, and I learned that sometimes the people laughing the loudest end up with nothing to smile about.